Hey guys, Stephen Bogren here from Pro Physique. Today what I want to talk about is, should I do my cardio before or after I lift weights? All right, well, god dang it, happy Wednesday, y'all. Hope everybody's doing really well. We had a blast at the NPC Border Clash this past weekend in South Carolina, hanging out with Paul, seeing Natalie get to make her pro debut, seeing Des get on there and win her class. Really just a good time in general. I think Jasmine came out and hung out too. So it was a good time. You get to see some people you know. We got to meet a lot of new people, and in general, I think just really cool to see the bikini pros in person, see how great they all look, be backstage. That's like, so it's always a nice reminder to be in the environment, because obviously a lot of you out there, employ me to get you there, so that you can do well on stage. So it was a cool time. I think, the entire drive up there, that 8 or 9 hour drive, just dicking around, having a blast. I don't think we turned the radio on once. So definitely a great weekend behind us. Looking forward to more great weekends as we have more shows planned to travel to and go to this year. So bigger and better this year. I will be at more shows this year than I was last year, and last year I was at more shows than I've ever been to. So looking forward to seeing you guys in person, meeting with the shows, and talking shop. But to the matter at hand, right? Cardio before or after weights? And so this is a really simple question. It's not super complex, I don't think. It's like yes or no, before or after. One of two options here. But I like to explain it, so why not? Yeah, let's talk about it, right? So cardio before or after weights is the question. And for me, the answer is always going to be after. After. And there's a couple reasons why I feel that way. But let's go with the first one, which is injury prevention. So this is especially with HIIT cardio. We do not want to pre-fatigue muscles before we use them, right? So if we have a percentage-based training program, that's what I like to use. We're expected to hit specific numbers, or hit specific volumes for each workout, for each movement, whatever it might be. And so that is given that we are fresh, when we're not super fatigued going into the program, right? Going into the workout. That's my expectation. So say if we do a HIIT cardio session, we do sprints, or we go hard on the stairs or the spin bike, we might be pre-fatiguing those muscles. So first and foremost, we may not be hitting our prescribed weights and volumes because of that. So that's number one. Number two is, if we're pre-fatiguing the muscles, right? That gives us a greater chance of injury. If we did any kind of small damage to them, and maybe we have a heavy day, it can just be not a great idea to go super hard before our workout. We want to make sure that we stay safe. We want to make sure that we stay healthy. So HIIT cardio, an absolute no. Do not do HIIT cardio before you lift. You might be able to get away with it if you're doing HIIT spin bike stuff and then doing an upper body session, but end of the day, be smart. We don't want to pre-fatigue our muscles. I kind of think of it like a lot of static stretching. All the research that I've seen, the data that I've seen, shows that if you're doing a lot of static stretching before your workout, we actually increase the risk of injury, right? We can start tearing the muscle, doing those micro tears, and doing damage and fatiguing the muscle at that point before the workout. Then we go in, and now we're putting higher stress, higher intensity onto those muscles while we've pre-fatigued them, and injury risk is elevated now at this point. So big no for me on HIIT cardio. What about steady state? I'd say that one kind of depends. I don't think there's anything wrong with doing a little bit of warm-up cardio, right? Very low intensity, just to sort of get yourself moving, get a little bit of blood in the muscle, get feeling into it. You know, obviously I'm not a dancer. My top half moves, but my bottom half doesn't. So I don't think there's anything wrong with like warm-up cardio. I don't think there's anything wrong with activation exercise and stuff, right? Make sure everything's firing right, my brain to my butt, to my quads, to my hamstrings, all that good stuff. But that being said, I don't want you to be going hard, right? If we're doing a full cardio session, maybe split it up, do a little bit of warm-up, right, before your lifting session, and then finish up your cardio after the lifting session. The main thing for me is my athletes, I'm very much more so concerned about your lifting. Lifting is what forces us to grow good muscle. It's what forces us to keep good muscle, right? So for me, it's all about like, I want you to focus on lifting. Cardio is supplementary, right? That's what helps us to continue to make sure that we're in a deficit and we're continuing to get weight loss or fat loss out of this whole program, this whole life thing that we're doing, right? So it's really an afterthought when it comes to training, right? My training for me is prioritized over my cardio. Like if something comes up and I only have time for one of them during a prep, which if you're prepping for a show, we have to make time for everything, kind of, right? Sucks. But I've done double cardio sessions before. You know, like I train really early in the morning. I'll get a little cardio session in. I'll have a good, 4 or 5 hours at least. Then I train, right? I'm recovered. I feel okay. My cardio in the morning was very light intensity. I've had plenty of time to, recover and just feel good again after that. And then I'll have any more higher intensity cardio after the fact, or the majority of my cardio after my training session. It can be difficult to manage time-wise. Yes, absolutely. It's difficult to manage energy-wise when we're in a dieting phase and we're in a deficit. Yes, absolutely. But I want to make sure that I'm doing the most I can to stay as safe and as healthy as possible during those times. So for me, in the question of cardio before or after, always after. I almost went after. This is my beforehand, right? Always after. Reasons why is, one, it's going to make sure that we have better workouts, right? We don't want to pre-fatigue ourselves, get all nasty, deplete glycogen stores, be tired, and then try and go into a workout when we have numbers that we're supposed to hit. That's not a good idea, right? But two, we want to stay healthy. We don't want to do those same things and then increase our risk for an injury. So that's it, guys. Just one of those things, like very simple yes or no question, one or the other. My opinion on cardio before or after exercise. Always prefer that you do your cardio after the weights.